Yo, so now guys, I'm just going to be going over a quick review of ES and NQ today. Posted a couple Twitter visuals today, so if you watch those, make sure to go watch this. Before this video begins, I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. You know the deal. And make sure you're using those Apex funded accounts, link in the description below. Very smart to use those. So, yeah. So today, this morning, I think the one thing worth pointing out, if you look at both ES and NQ, I think the one thing worth pointing out was we had an NQ. If you look very closely, if you look at like the 5 minute, okay, we created these double lows in the 5 minute, and although it looks like this swept by a tick, okay, it really didn't. And what do I say about one tick sweeps? Usually one tick sweeps are not trustworthy. Usually we end up sweeping them again. So when I saw this, I was like, okay, we have a one tick sweep, probably gonna go back down there. And what I said was, if we violated this kind of this area, I said I bet this would be a good chase down to these lows. Okay, and sure enough, after this candle right here, you can kind of see this gets violated. Beautiful chase down to these lows. Okay, and then I said it's worth holding runner still down here. Called this an index commentary. Very nice. Okay, after this, okay, I said if you look at index commentary real quick, this is important to know. Okay. It was, let me see, I'm going to index commentary right now. Give me one moment. Alright. Right here. So, I had equal highs marked in ES, okay, and I'll just show you them real quick. I had equal highs marked in ES. They're right here. Okay. I still think we hit them. I just don't know when. So I had equal highs marked here, and I wanted them right here. But what you can see is, NQ end up hitting buy side. So you can see, I want to see this violated on ES, which it wasn't. If you go to like the, I think it was a 15 minute. Where was it? It was this 15-minute inverse right here. So I really wanted to see this violated, which it never was, okay? And we just, we never violated it, okay? And then you got more fair value gaps in the 1 minute, including this one. Okay, you want to see this violated. But what's the problem with this one? This one was violated, but we also never violated this volume imbalance. So because this wasn't violated, it just wasn't good enough. And same thing with kind of this fair value gap right here. If we look a little closer, same thing with this. I want to see this violated. If this was violated, I bet you this would have been a good chase right up to these equal highs, but it never was violated. So you can't just long. I know some people probably turtle soup this, but you can't just long if this isn't violated. Okay, even though I get we have the equal highs above, and I get you want to short it because we do have the equal highs above, but in this situation right here, you can't really long unless you violate it, and we never did. Okay, so that was one thing I want to point out. NQ had a lot of low resistance, including this morning, which made me very bullish. And we ended up blowing through a lot of it, but we never end up hitting the highest high off it. So this is the highest high. We ended up only taking out this high, which is fine. We didn't have to take all the low resistance equity out. And I said, very uncorrelated with NQ, and I even said, like right here, we still pumped like 50 points out of this. And I said lots of engineered liquidity in NQ as well, so this would make sense for ES to go hit the equal highs. But what happened is NQ dumped and NQ pumped and ES kept dumping. So by the time NQ hit buy side, okay, ES wasn't even close. So I was like, okay, this is very uncorrelated. Even ICT tweeted himself, right? It wasn't that correlated. He's like, ES is doing some damage right now because ES was not moving even though NQ was. So because of that, there was an inverse play, and I was like, okay, the only reason I'm not entering this is because NQ already hit buy side, and it was right. I think it was this one right here, and I didn't really see the volume balance at the time, but I literally told people, I'm like, the only reason I'm not entering this as an inverse is because NQ already hit buy side up here. So I was like, it's kind of risky now because NQ already hit buy side. Let's say NQ didn't, then I probably would have stabbed at this a little bit. But unfortunately, NQ was so overextended at that point. I was like, I wanted to be careful. And then they ended up chasing another long down to this low. Got like 130% in options. I did take an options loss. I think I longed right here. It was in profit, but I ended up getting stopped for loss. I didn't alert either in stream. And then I pointed out this nice setup, okay? And this is important. So I said gun to my head, I think we hit this low and yes. But I said it's still smart to look for a long setup here just in case I'm wrong, okay? Why is it still smart? It's still smart because this is still a hourly fair value gap. Why would you not look for a long setup in this just in case your bias is wrong? You can see what I said was very smart, okay? And even though I wanted the low, just it's not a spot you can be bearish, not a spot you can really chase shorts, right? It's not a spot because we're weighing the discount. So if your bias is wrong, we're 100% going to get along out of this. And then I said this. I said I changed my mind. Can't be bearish to the lows until the 15-minute closes below this because we were overextended. So I kind of changed my mind and I was like, well, if you narrow down the 15-minute, you could kind of see there was actually never a body close beneath this. So I was like, okay, this is quite bullish. And the reason why is because this could have just been the Judas swing open and then you look for a bullish setup, right? So that was my thinking process at the time. So I kind of changed my mind there. I was like, well, I'm not going to be bearish for sure until we close below this. And then I ended up pointing out a nice long setup on stream where I said it was nice to look for a long setup, and it was this one right here, okay? And my exact words was, I said, if I was not green and done for the day, because I was green at this point and I was pretty much done. I said, if I was not green for the day and I had taken no trades, I would definitely take this. And that's what I said. And it ended up working out very nicely. A lot of people in my stream took this. I know that. And yeah, gave 5 handles. I said I would be out by 5 handles. Ended up pumping later in the afternoon, but obviously would have had to hold through all this, which is very tough sometimes, so it's okay if you didn't. But again, you see a long setup in a spot where I said it's smart to look for a long setup, even though I wanted lower prices. You can't just fade something like this, okay? Even though I had a bearish bias, this is a good long setup, right? You can also see it was an inverse volume imbalance, and we kind of closed above that as well. So double confluence here. Bodies respected both. Bodies also respected the CE of this fair value gap, right? Multiple things being respected. And in this situation, at first I was like, I don't think it's like, it's a decent, don't love it yet. And then I started saying this candle, and then I was like, okay, they're engineering some liquidity. And I drew this low resistance liquidity line, and I'm like, I'm 80% sure this works. So 80% is a pretty good probability. And I was 80% sure this worked after I saw this low resistance liquidity kind of form. So like by this candle, I'm like, okay, this has got to work, right? And that's just an example of, okay, wait till a few more candles form. Maybe you'll see a few more candles and you'll like the setup better rather than right when you kind of see it. Okay, and then I got off this chart set for all this move. Did not catch any of this move. But you've probably seen this a million times, right? This is a really, really known signature in price where we get a giant dump and then we just trade back above that giant dump, right? It's a very key signature. You've got to know, okay? And it causes for a lot of acceleration on the way up, especially when redelivering from a higher time frame for a value gap. And then in the afternoon, I was like, I wanted to be bullish. I was waiting for a setup. We never got it. Price action was just trash here. I always say price action is bad if we ever trade above and below multiple inverse fair value gaps. So you can see, traded above this, then we trade back below it. Same thing with this. Traded above it, trade back below it. That's how you know price action is bad and just to be done for the day. Pretty bad price action on here. And then finally, we broke this low resistance liquidity. I was waiting for that all day. And we finally broke it. We hit buy side here, but we never hit the major buy side, unfortunately. So I wanted 4 or 5 on ES. I wanted this high in ES, relative equal highs. Never got it, so that's what I'm kind of watching for tomorrow. As long as we respect this. So this is the fair value gap I said look for a long setup out of. And I am uploading my live stream later. I wasn't recording the afternoon session. The only reason I mentioned this fair value gap was because it was stacked in a footprint chart, and it was just lines up with an hourly BPR, so pretty strong zone, you know. So yeah, that's kind of what's going to keep me bullish for now. Hope you guys enjoyed this review, and other than that, peace out.